In 2020, the Waka Christmas parade faced cancellation due to fluctuating COVID restrictions, disappointing residents after almost 2 years of anticipation. However, in 2021, locals were thrilled to gather once again with friends, family, and the community to celebrate the season. Every year, residents of Waukesha County, Wisconsin, come together for the annual Waka Christmas parade, marking a cherished tradition in the area.
And we begin with breaking news in Waukesha. Multiple people are dead, more than 20 others hurt, including 12 kids, after an SUV plowed through the annual Christmas parade late this afternoon in Waukesha. Carnage caught on video. Thank you for joining us. I'm Bill Wall.
At the intersection of North Hartwell Avenue and East Main Street, chaos erupted as a red Ford Escape SUV crashed through a barricade, disregarding safety measures. Amidst the live-streamed event, multiple webcams captured the unfolding tragedy, with one positioned outside the Waukesha County Historical Society. As the SUV sped past, it narrowly missed the Carroll University Marching Band, barreling down West Main Street at a terrifying 40 mph. The vehicle careened through the crowd, striking participants and bystanders alike. Tragically, 8-year-old Jackson Sparks became the first child to lose his life in the calamity. The vehicle's path of destruction continued, claiming more victims, including Jane Kick, who was walking beside her company's float. Even the beloved Dancing Granny's troupe fell victim to the chaos, resulting in the loss of 4 more innocent lives: Tamara Durant, Leanna Lee Owen, Virginia Jenny Sensen, and Willem Bill Hospel, a devoted group helper. In a desperate attempt to halt the fleeing perpetrator, a police officer fired 3 shots as the SUV approached Wisconsin Avenue. In the aftermath of the harrowing incident, all 3 shots fired by law enforcement found their mark on the fleeing vehicle. Yet, despite the damage, the SUV managed to evade capture, speeding down Northwest Avenue and slipping through the grasp of authorities. The toll of the attack was devastating. 6 lives lost and over 60 individuals left injured, with a staggering 17 children among the 28 victims admitted to hospitals. Tragically, 9 victims remained in critical condition, their futures uncertain in the wake of the senseless violence. What was once a celebration of unity and joy in the community now stood as a grim reminder of the horrors witnessed that day. Promptly responding to the emergency, law enforcement swarmed the scene, only to find the red SUV vanished without a trace. However, hope flickered when surveillance footage captured a man fitting the description of the driver wandering through nearby yards. This same individual appeared on a Ring doorbell camera, seeking assistance from a homeowner, perhaps in an attempt to distance himself from the chaos he had wrought.
Hey, I called an Uber, and I'm supposed to be waiting for it over here, but I don't know when it's coming. Can you call it for me, please? I'm homeless. I don't know. It's yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's what.
Before long, law enforcement's relentless pursuit led to his apprehension.
This matches the description of the guy that got called on who was going door to door over here. What is your name?
Brooks.
First name?
Darrell Edward Brooks Jr., the individual apprehended by authorities, has a lengthy criminal record dating back to 1999. Notorious for his violent tendencies, Brooks Jr.'s felonies include a disturbing incident where he slashed another man's face with a knife. Over the span of more than 2 decades, he has frequented criminal courts, facing convictions for offenses ranging from domestic violence and child sex crimes to firearms, drugs, and battery. The list of charges against Brooks Jr. from 1999 to 2012 is extensive. Notably, in 2011, police encountered a dangerous encounter during a traffic stop, where Brooks Jr. attempted to flee, prompting an officer to fear for his life as he perceived Brooks Jr.'s actions as an attempt to run him over. At the time of the parade, Brooks Jr. was out on $1,000 cash bail, stemming from charges filed in November in Milwaukee County. These charges stemmed from a violent altercation with Erica Patterson, the mother of his child, where he allegedly punched and ran over her. A discernible pattern emerges from Brooks Jr.'s criminal history, painting a disturbing picture of his propensity for violence. The combination of this extensive record and the damning video evidence against him suggests a strong case for conviction. However, investigators aim to bolster their case further by obtaining a confession, recognizing it as the most compelling evidence in court.
My shoulder hurts too bad right now.
Sure. They got you some McDonald's, I see?
Yeah, I couldn't really eat it, man.
What'd they get you?
Fish sandwich.
What'd they get you for breakfast?
Some type of little sandwich. I didn't even eat it though.
Okay. Alright, what did you eat last night?
Nothing.
Nothing? I know they got you something, didn't
I
they?
mean, some from Quick Trips and chips, and so I didn't even eat it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you said you hadn't eaten since like Saturday, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried to, but...
Just kind of, because you're unsure of what was happening?
Unsure, the pain, I don't know. I'm like, what in the hell?
But you got something in your system now so that you're not so...
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Good.
I'm glad. That's something. I know the shoulder's struggling.
Bad.
Shoulders worse than the knees, though?
Absolutely. I know something is wrong. I know something is wrong.
Before delving into the interrogation analysis, it's crucial to understand Erica's circumstances leading up to the parade tragedy. Erica found herself in Waukesha County during the parade as she sought refuge from Darrell, following a recent assault. Staying at a women's shelter, she hoped to evade Darrell's pursuit. However, Darrell tracked her down from Milwaukee to Waukesha County, trailing her in his car as she moved around the area. During this pursuit, Erica ultimately ended up in Darrell's car, where she faced another assault, resulting in a black eye. This disturbing incident unfolded just moments before the rampage at the parade. Interestingly, footage from another doorbell camera captures the end of this domestic dispute, showing Darrell's fit of rage as a neighbor attempts to intervene. Only after the neighbor is pulled away does Darrell speed off, leaving behind a scene of chaos. This context is pivotal for understanding the detective's strategy heading into the interrogation, as it sheds light on the volatile dynamics between Darrell and Erica, providing crucial insight into Darrell's state of mind and potential motivations behind his actions.
Only thing I want to know is, what in the heck, am I being charged with anything?
Well, she's making some, like I said, alleged allegations against you, kind of, for being physical. So that's what, if that's BS, that's what I'm looking to hear from you. Okay?
Total BS.
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of, we couldn't track her down, so that's kind of where we're at. It's this typical back and forth stuff that guys like you go through with their baby mama all the time. And they're all, there's a lot of guys out there in your spot, and a lot of times, maybe it's not always fair to them, but that's kind of what
I wish they had a law to where people, if you do that shit, you should get in trouble.
Sure. Yeah. What brought you to Waukesha yesterday? How did you get out here?
I was meeting up with a friend to watch the Packer game. Okay. That's the only reason why I was out here.
Okay, so let's go with this. How did you come? I know you saw Erica yesterday in Waukesha. How did you come to meet with her in Waukesha, one? And two, you say you don't know Waukesha, but where did you meet her?
I was supposed to be getting some money from her.
Okay. For what?
It was the rest of my money that she had of mine that she was holding for me.
Okay, how much?
It was supposed to be $350.
Okay. Whose car did you use to get out to Waukesha?
I didn't use anybody's car.
Where does your friend live?
My friend lives in Milwaukee.
So you didn't walk to Waukesha. Whose car did you guys use to
my
get
friend,
out?
I just said my friend.
What type of car does he have?
I'm
just trying to figure out how you got here.
Yeah, I know, but it seemed like you trying to, spin me up or something.
I'm just asking how you got here. Whose car did you drive out here?
I didn't drive at all.
Whose car did you come out here in?
My friend.
I don't entirely know all that, okay? I'm just right now trying to figure out how you got out here. Every hour or so, my boss, he knows we're out here. I just got to call him and say, yeah, we're talking. I'll call you back later. Just got to step out, throw in a line with him, and we'll come back. Just chill out here, enjoy your soda. We'll be right back. All right? Sound good? Right.
So we done talking, or?
No, we'll be back in a minute. Just chill out, and we'll be back. I don't want to put you back in that, so I just got to make that call.
That check-in call.
All right?
In the middle of the conversation?
Well, do you want to tell me about the car?
We can go another couple minutes.
You been straight up with me, you been straight up with me, right? Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is I just want to know what I'm looking at and if I can just notify my girls. That's it. I don't have a problem with talking to you guys at all. I just want to know what am I looking at. That's it.
At the start, she called about some domestic abuse related stuff.
Contrary to the usual technique of building rapport and trust with a suspect, the approach taken with Darrell Brooks differed significantly. Initially, detectives attempted to use information about the recent altercation between Darrell and Erica as a cover to establish a connection and gather preliminary information about Darrell's whereabouts and mental state leading up to the parade tragedy. They aimed to confirm details such as Darrell's vehicle, recent timeline, and potential accomplices. However, as Darrell began to grasp the severity of the situation, detectives realized they needed to change tactics. With the hope of securing a confession, they adopted a more direct and forceful approach. This involved confronting Darrell with the evidence against him, pressing him until he either succumbed to the pressure, dug himself deeper into lies, or requested legal representation. While opting for legal counsel would be a prudent choice for Darrell at this juncture, as you'll discover later in this video, that course of action doesn't align with his typical behavior.
You don't have a car, so Marcus had to bring you out. You don't own a car, your mom doesn't own a car, right? So just had to bring you out. So why did we find you with a car key in your pocket?
It wasn't in my pocket. I don't even know where. They said that was laying on the ground.
That's yours.
Yeah. It should have been by my ID.
Yeah, it's yours. It's your car key, okay? Because it goes to a Ford Escape in your mom's name covered in Waukesha. You know what happened yesterday for the people. Tell me what happened.
With what?
With the car.
What am I being
with your mom's car? You were driving goofy, people called you in, you drove out of there in your mom's car, the red car, you're driving a little silly, probably because you're pissed. You met up with Erica in the car at the park. She got in, you talked, and what you're telling me seems pretty consistent, that there was nothing physical between the two of you.
No.
But you met her in the car. I don't really know what happened between you two, because there are things you haven't been honest about.
Okay, so yeah, just because I wasn't honest about my mom's truck and all that, that makes me dishonest about me beating up my baby mama?
Definitely raises questions.
When she tells you guys that this didn't happen, how can I even trust that the charges will be dropped? When she's not mad or angry anymore, that's just what she does this all the time.
All right, Darrell, can you stand up for me? I do have to put handcuffs on you.
No, it's all good. It's all good, man. I know what's going on, man.
This is the shoulder. I know you didn't know, so.
Yeah, no.
Despite mounting evidence against him, Brooks adamantly denied any involvement in the tragic events of the WKA Christmas parade. He faced a staggering 76 criminal counts, including 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. It's not uncommon for suspects with intense personalities and questionable behavior to bring their traits into the interrogation room, sometimes exhibiting traits such as narcissism or a god complex.
What happened after you drove here? After you drove up here?
Yourself.
What happened after you
Go yourself. What do you think, I can't kick you upside the head with my fucking boot right now? I'll make you wear this size 8, motherfucker.
Some suspects, like Brooks, may exhibit sheer ignorance regarding how the interrogation process works, leading them to navigate the situation with a combination of denial and disbelief.
What happened next?
What happened next, and she kept hitting her head against the wall when she was sitting on the bed, and I was like, I grabbed her and I shook her. I was like, stop, like, we need to, like, and looked at her. I was like, we need to, like, talk about this. And, like, I mean, I was holding her arms and stuff. No, I mean, she was not screaming.
Yeah.
She should have been, probably.
During the trial, such characteristics rarely manifest to the same unadulterated extent due to the involvement of defense counsel. Once charged, defendants have the option to seek legal representation. If they cannot afford one or have no one in mind, the court appoints an attorney to them. Having a professional guide them through the intricacies of the legal system is often an obvious choice for defendants facing significant charges. These attorneys not only understand the complexities of the court, but also work to protect the rights of their clients. It takes a unique individual to disregard these realities. Some might argue that this hypothetical person embodies a blend of the characteristics described earlier, a mixture of ignorance and narcissism. In the case of Darrell Brooks, he defied conventional wisdom by making such a seemingly ludicrous choice.
To withdraw, I do want to start out with you, Mr. Brooks, and ask you, is it your desire to represent yourself in this case?
It is. I would like to proceed in this matter prior persona, not pro se.
Say that last part again.
I would like to proceed in this matter in pro per, not pro se.
So you're going to have to tell me what you think that means.
It is me exercising my right to defend myself, to represent myself as a sovereign citizen. So essentially, this matter today would be me appearing by special appearance.
You have an absolute right to have an attorney represent you. It is protected not only by the Wisconsin Constitution, but the United States Constitution. Do you understand that?
I do understand my rights under the United States Constitution, yes.
Did you hear what I said?
Repeat it.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you, what we call the right to counsel?
Under the 6th Amendment, correct?
Under the 6th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, and the Wisconsin Constitution as well. It's a well-established right that a criminal defendant has. Do you understand that?
I'm aware, yes.
Brooks made the unprecedented decision to represent himself in the court of law, opting to defend himself without the guidance of a professional attorney to filter his actions and statements. The ensuing absurdity captivated audiences as sensational headlines and viral video clips from the trial flooded the internet. All attention turned to Brooks' behavior during the proceedings, highlighting the unconventional and often bizarre nature of his self-representation.
Once again, you're doing this tactic.
Because it's not a tactic, it's facts.
What we're talking
it's
about
facts.
To some other reason.
It's facts. Because I find it hard to believe that
I'm gonna
all of a sudden nobody hears what I say.
I'm going to let the state make a record of why they believe it's objectionable, because I haven't let them do that.
While there are instances where defendants waiving their right to an attorney may benefit them, as jurors may feel empathy for them, Darrell Brooks was not experiencing any such benefit in the courtroom. His behavior and actions failed to elicit empathy from the jury, and instead, his self-representation likely worked against him, further damaging his case.
He was convicted of statutory sexual seduction, pled guilty in March of 2007 to that felony offense, and is a sex offender on the registry as a result. So if there's any causation that would lead to Erica Patterson being a bad mom, Mr. Brooks has a direct role in that causation.
And that's
furthermore
to that,
I'm not
because that's a lie.
Let him
at the end of the day,
Let him finish.
If we're gonna open the door on that,
Brooks.
no, since he want to make a record and not be accurate, so let's be accurate on the record since you think you know so much.
Once
so
again,
we can
Mr.
open the
Brooks
door
is being
on. We can
loud,
open the door on how old you told me she was. When
interrupting.
We can ask that question
He is
to him.
over the top animated
Did you
right
know
now.
that?
Mr. Brooks, I'm ordering you to sit down and to let the state finish.
No, I'm not going to sit here and let somebody be inaccurate on the record and lie on the record.
Right.
It's not a game. I don't take this as a game. That's what nobody. You don't got to explain nothing to me.
Do you want?
That's what you don't understand. You think that this is a whole game to me. This is not a game to me, Your Honor. Nothing about this is a joke. Your life is not on the line. Mine is. And you think that I think this is funny? With all due respect, I think you should show some respect.
We're going to take a 5-minute break. And when we come back, the jury's coming out, and you need to call your next witness. Thank you.
Ain't nobody gonna talk to me like that. Nobody. I don't have a problem with doing what you asked me to do, not tell me.
Make a ruling.
It threw people off a loop. They weren't ready for it. They scared of it. That's what it is. Come on, man.
Mr. Brooks.
Come on, man. Stop.
When you aren't
Stop
even
it.
letting
You're a
me
public
ask
servant,
a
Your Honor.
question.
I respect your courtroom. I respect you. You're a public servant, though. Your job is to be the referee.
I would like to provide the defendant and the court with copies.
So that had to be said. So it's the defendant.
That's not how it was said.
That was how it said. You want to run the record back?
Mr. Brooks.
So I'm the only one. I got one. I got
Brooks.
one ear that work, and I heard that.
This
Come on,
is
man.
to benefit you, so that
No, it's
you
not.
understand
Ain't none of
your
this to benefit
witness
me, so let's
has
be clear
a
about
prior
that.
record. Do not interrupt Attorney Opper.
So can
Your
you
Honor,
tell,
I
can you
believe he
please-
has 7 prior criminal convictions. ODEP from 2006.
Right, I need to take a break. This man right now is having a stare down with me. It's very disrespectful. He pounded his fist. Frankly, it makes me scared.
Throughout the trial, Darrell frequently engaged in direct arguments with the judge, often presenting bizarre legal theories devoid of any basis in law or reality. One such example was his insistence on identifying as a sovereign citizen, claiming that as such, the law held no authority over him as a non-citizen of the United States. This assertion was just one of many tactics employed by Darrell to prolong the proceedings, resulting in frequent delays for the court. However, Judge Doro adeptly and swiftly addressed each new issue brought forth by Darrell, maintaining order and ensuring that the trial proceeded as smoothly as possible despite his disruptions.
All right, I'm going to excuse everyone. Mr. Brooks is being removed from the courtroom. Mr. Brooks is going to be removed. All right, I'm directing the bailiffs to remove him to the other courtroom. No. Homicide have been proved as to count 6. On or about Sunday, November 21 of 2021 on Main Street in the city of Waukesha, sub B of the Wisconsin statutes. The 10th count of the information in this 30 sub 1, 939.50 sub 3 sub F, and
While Darrell's decision to waive his right to an attorney is commonly viewed as a disastrous choice, his disruptive behavior during the trial might have actually been a strategic move given his circumstances. Tom Grieve, a criminal defense attorney from Madison, Wisconsin, highlighted the challenging nature of the trial due to Darrell's mindset. With Darrell feeling like he had nothing to lose, his aim was likely to create chaos, hoping to disrupt the proceedings enough to force a mistrial or build grounds for appeal. Watching Darrell's behavior unfold in such a sensitive case understandably evoked frustration, anger, and emotional exhaustion, particularly for the hundreds of individuals affected by the tragic event. Many witnesses testified, reliving the traumatic events which took a toll on everyone involved. Some witnesses described the driver of the vehicle as displaying a focused and intentional demeanor as he plowed through the crowds. Despite the media's focus on Darrell's antics, he did mount some defenses against the prosecution's evidence. His primary arguments included denying his presence as the driver, suggesting potential mechanical malfunctions of the SUV, and contending that the driver did not act intentionally. However, these defenses were countered by witnesses who claimed to have seen Darrell driving the vehicle clearly. After 3 hours of deliberation, the jury unanimously found Darrell guilty on all 76 charges on October 26, 2022.
we, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 2 of the information. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes.
Burn in hell, you piece of shit.
Hey, you are to be removed right now. You will not do that. We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 3 of the information. And I should state as to count 2, it was signed and dated by the foreperson, same as to count 3. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes.
About 3 weeks later, the families and survivors of the Waka Christmas parade attack were granted the opportunity to address Darrell directly, expressing their thoughts and feelings openly.
My name is Alicia Kulik, and I am the youngest daughter of Jane Kulik. I've tried to figure out where to start, and there really isn't anywhere specific to start off with. I can't put all of my emotions onto however many pieces of paper because there's just not enough, at least in my mind. I've waited for this day, both anxiously, yet ready to share my piece on the matter. I'm here speaking upon behalf of my mother and the rest of my family, and my twin brother standing right next to me. I've been to most of the trial that I could make it to, as it is my first year in college, and my mom would want me to put my schooling first. I don't think that it had been 2 hours since she left that my dad got a phone call from someone my mom had been marching with, stating that she had been hit by a car. At first I thought my dad was just upset about something over work, because that's kind of common. Or what my mind went to was that maybe the after parade traffic was pretty bad and she collided with another car, not a car to person. Ambulances were surrounding the hospital, and the waiting room was a triage. I will never forget the things I saw that day. I will never forget the chaos of parents searching for their children, demanding answers as we were for my mom. When they brought us back to the room and told us to sit down, you just know. I had to prepare myself for what I was about to hear. Hearing that my mom had deathly injuries in her head and her lungs and all the rest of her organs, and she was deceased. That is the words that he used. She was deceased. That is something that I will never be able to unhear, along with what I saw in the triage of that hospital waiting room that day. Oftentimes when I hear sirens, I'm scared. I'm scared that another family has to go through what I went through, what my family went through.
Please don't do that. It's so disrespectful. I've watched all day on TV, and I've watched you mock all of the victims all day. You roll your eyes and you make faces. If this was your 8-year-old daughter that someone else hit, you would have been beside yourself if someone made those faces. And you want people to have forgiveness for you and your child? You're insane. I hope that the judge puts the most amount of years on your sentence, and I hope that you live in hell for the rest of your life for what you have done to all of these victims. Do you realize after you hit me and my mother-in-law, I spent 5 minutes walking around looking for my daughter on the ground? I was looking for her through little girls that were keeled up in little fetal positions because you had ran them over. You hit them with 3,300 pounds, and you don't care. Right before you hit me, I turned around and I looked at you. I didn't see your car. I saw the look in your eye. You knew exactly what you were doing. You knew exactly what you wanted to do. And that was because you are a narcissistic piece of shit that thinks you can get away with everything.
Before Judge Doro would determine his sentence, Darrell was given the opportunity to speak, allowing him a final chance to address the court.
I do have a lot to say. I'm gonna like to stand up if I may.
Go ahead.
It's emotional. I apologize for taking so long. minimal time to reflect in a place like this. But one of those minimal times that you get to reflect in a place like this is when you're alone in your cell. When it's just you and the walls. One of the victims made a comment about trying to understand why this happened. That's a question I struggle with myself. The why, the how. How could life ever get this far away from what it should be?
Darrell was allotted a total of 2 hours to speak before receiving his sentence, and he utilized every minute of that time. During his address, he offered indirect apologies to the victims and their families while delving into his religious beliefs. Following Darrell's lengthy speech, Judge Doro proceeded to read out Darrell Brooks' sentence.
Frankly, Mr. Brooks, no one is safe from you. This community can only be safe if you are behind bars for the rest of your life. The actions of Darrell Brooks demand punishment. The community is not safe from your violent and criminal conduct unless you are in custody.
On November 16, 2022, Darrell Brooks received 6 consecutive life sentences from Judge Doro. Additionally, Judge Doro sentenced Darrell to 172 years for each of the 61 counts of first-degree recklessly endangering safety with the use of a dangerous weapon, resulting in an additional 762 years in prison. If you enjoyed this video, consider checking out the one on your screen right now. Thanks for watching.